Good morning. Today is Thursday, December 1st, 2022. Last Wednesday morning, there were 2 terror attacks in Jerusalem, both near bus stops that were crowded with people going to work, going to school, going shopping. One was near the western entrance to Jerusalem, near the central bus station. The other was in Ramot, a large neighborhood on the northern side of Jerusalem. There were many people wounded. One young man, originally from Canada, on his way to yeshiva, was killed. A few days later, just a couple of days ago, another man succumbed to his injuries and died. I want to share with you a moving first-hand account written by Shira Lankin Sheps, so that we can all try to feel just a little what this experience, all too often repeated, feels like. And also, at the end of what she writes, is a magnificent lesson that can help all of us in a time of tragedy and also in less dramatic challenges. And this essay appeared in a Facebook group titled The Layers Project Magazine. I recommend it highly. They present essays by different people, many of them very, very moving, beautiful. The Layers Project Magazine on Facebook. I was only awake for a few minutes when I heard the first explosion, she writes. Just enough time to wish my husband happy birthday, talk to my daughter about the outfit she was going to wear to the bat mitzvah party she was going to later that night, and to give a hugging kiss to my son before he went down to breakfast. I'd slept with the windows open, and the blast from the bomb explosion echoed across the mountaintops and through the valley beneath our neighborhood. We could feel it throughout the whole house. We could feel the after effects of the shock rattling around in our bodies. It's been several hours, and I can still feel it now. What was that? I don't know. There's always noise in the valley. But then the sirens began. A first, a second, a fifth, an eighth, different sirens coming from different directions, all converging to the neighborhood across the way, the helicopters flying in. Then I knew what the sound was, even before I read it in the news. My husband and daughter were about to get into the car to go to school. Wait, I asked them. Just give me a few minutes to figure out what's going on here. The WhatsApp groups were buzzing. A pigua, a terror attack, a bus bombing near the central bus station, where my husband and daughter go every day. A few minutes later, a second explosion. Once again, the blast was so big that we could feel it, this time louder. After a moment, I realized it was closer, much closer. Ramot, which I can see from my street, where my husband and daughter would have been driving by seconds earlier if they had been going to school, where my friends go to work, where their kids take buses to school, one of the main arteries in and out of Jerusalem. I spent the morning holding my children, soothing them, giving them appropriate information when I could. The neighborhood was at a standstill. Hardly anyone could get in or out. It's incredibly difficult to be calm and collected for your kids when you feel like your sense of safety is shattered. When you're texting all your people asking if their people are okay and safe, accounting for every child and spouse and cousin and friend of the ones you love. As the hours passed, the injured numbers climbed higher and higher. It felt like the sirens went on all morning. The bombs were filled with nails and marbles to do the most damage. They were detonated remotely. "This is my home," she writes, "where I have lived for almost 5 years, the place where I am raising my family. I drive by this spot almost every day. To see it marred by terror fills me with a sense of dread I cannot measure. I am sure I will only know the true measure of it in the days to come." Now please listen carefully. My daughter reminded me of something important. When I told her the news this morning, she had her backpack on, all ready for school, her face crumpled. I watched her calculations of how she was right there just yesterday. I saw her freeze and take it all in. She had a field trip this morning. The girls who lived on the other side of the town made it to the trip, but there was no way she was going to make it with all the roads closed. When her class got together, they began to worry about her. They knew where she lived and immediately called to see if she was safe. "Tiyeh chazaka," they told her. "Be strong." "Anachnu itach," they said. "We are with you." When she came to tell me about the phone call, her head was held higher, her neck straighter, her face was softer, like she had been held by them for a moment and found relief. And then I remembered that we get through terror when we band together, when we support each other, when love is more powerful than hate. My friends, I want to wish you a great day, a safe day, both here in Israel and around the world. And I look forward to seeing you soon in person.